Hello, 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 and welcome back to Final Fantasy 2. Definitely 2. It says 2. What else could it be? Alright, so when we last left our heroes, they had just been given a ship by the King of Fabul, and they are going to use this ship to, I guess, get back to Baron and hopefully straighten things out with the king there and this Golbez character who we just learned about. And let's go. Real quick though, just curious. Oh, that's right. Yeah, Golbez kidnapped Rosa in the last one. It's been a week, so, you know. Just want to take a look here. You see that forest in the top right-hand corner of the map right now? How it's round? That is usually an indication of a Chocobo forest, or a Chocobo forest, or a Kookaburra forest, if you will. So I'm just curious, as I am, and I want to go over there and just take a look at what's in there. We haven't been to a Chocobo forest, I don't think, yet. So I want to take a look and just see what's there. Usually in the forest you can find useful things like carrots. Carrots are used to summon the Big Chocobo. The Big Chocobo is basically a bank for you to use in this game. When you run out of room in your inventory, you just visit the Big Chocobo, hand him a carrot, and then you can store whatever you want with him. Good. Yang gained a level. Always a good thing. Excuse me. Alright. What is in here? Okay, so yeah, the round forest even as far back as Final Fantasy IV here. Me and Chocobos. Now you'll notice me pressing up against the walls here. And the reason I'm doing that is because sometimes in these forests there are secret passages. Smells like Chocobos. Well, that's your cue to throw up a carrot and the Big Chocobo will appear. We do not need his services yet, though. It is still too early for that. It took me a minute to remember what comes next in this game. And honestly, I guess I shouldn't be surprised at what comes next, but I still am. Oh, there you go, found a carrot. And it's, well, you'll see, but it's basically going to be the resolution of a lot of the character things that we've been talking about as far as Cecil goes. So white Chocobos, they heal your magic. Yellow Chocobos you can ride. So we did take a little damage in that fight that we were in, at least Yang and Edward did, so we're going to heal those two guys real quick. And then we're going to be on our way after we talk to the white Chocobo one more time. So yeah, a lot of the character intricacies with our main character here are, unfortunately, I think, about to be resolved. You'll see what I mean when we get there, and I'll talk about it more. But, you know, for a game that came out in '91, where the technology and the skill at storytelling with games was still in its infancy, honestly, I guess it's a big development, and I guess it comes at the right point. It's just, it's so much sooner than I remember. Anyway, I'll stop talking about it, because if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's just going to annoy you that I keep talking about something and not actually explaining it. Keep referring to it as it, playing the pronoun game. Don't play the pronoun game. There we go. Alright, Edward gained a level. Fantastic. Alright, so we visited the Chocobo Forest, which is what I wanted to do. And I'm just going to save right here for, you know, no reason really. And off we go. Yang's wife. Honey, take good care and fight bravely. Certainly. See the Japanese. Yosh! The others too. Yes, ma'am. I like this music here. I think this is Sid's theme for most of the game. So here we are on the ship. The captain. You are Cecil. I've heard of your feat. Feel at home on my ship. It won't take long to reach Baron. Now let's get going. Ikimasho. Raise the anchor. Hoy! Showing that the captain has a very Genki crew. So here we are, traveling the seas of the world, the vast oceans. I don't think they name this world in this game like they do in others. FF9 made a big deal between Terra and Gaia, and I don't think this game does that. I could be wrong, but we'll see. What would you do after we arrive at Baron? Let's find Sid, the master engineer. He's the expert of the airships. He'll help us. Hope he's okay. Are you cold? You're shivering. No, it's nothing. So Edward apparently still feeling beat up. I guess I overinflated his ability to do the emotional rebound thing. Remember, a couple of these episodes ago, he had a very traumatic experience where his kingdom was destroyed, and well, lots of other things too. And what is that? Nothing good. Oh boy. It's Leviathan. I give him credit. Leviathan's in a lot of these Final Fantasy games, and you don't always see him as a monster coming out of the ocean. That's pretty cool. So his crew's panicking. Rydia thrown overboard. Help! Yang, what a hero, dives in after her. Cecil shouts to them from the deck. Edward thrown to the deck. The ship spirals into the abyss. Okay, sorry about that. So Cecil gradually wakes up here alone. No idea what's going on. It's a vast sandy beach. All alone. He'll later pull off his helm and start calling it Sir Wilson. That does not happen. So for the first time in this game, Cecil is actually alone. Up until this point, he's always had someone with him. When he raided the village of Nasidia to steal the crystal, he was surrounded by his men. When he left the kingdom of Baron and traveled to the village Mist, Kain was with him. When he traveled after that, and when he went to the town of Capo, I guess Rydia, she was with him. She wasn't conscious. She was passed out. But she was with him. And then after that, the two of them were together, met Tella, so there's 3 of them, met Edward, and then Tella left, so there's still 3 of them. They met Rosa, so now there were 4. Then they met Yang, so they were 5. And yeah, so Cecil has not been alone until just now. At least there's a town nearby. Wonder what town this is. Who the inhabitants are. One way to find out. Uh-oh. So if you haven't figured it out already from our first episode, this is the town that Cecil and his men attacked as members of the Red Wings. Serpent Road was named because it drains much stamina from travelers. Go away. This dude just turned us into a frog. Fortunately, you talk to him again, and he casts the spell again. Kind of silly of the AI, but you know, that's just what it's programmed to do. I guess it's not really AI, is it? Pretty silly of the scripting to just turn him back, but oh well. So Cecil knows that he did a bad thing. He's all on his lonesome now. And I guess the one benefit of that is that, you know, the people he's with don't have to see him go through this whole thing. Another training room. Yeah, it's all the same information, isn't it? So there's probably not going to be anything in here. So yeah, none of his friends have to see him go through this. But basically, this entire part of the game is about Cecil seeing the consequences of his actions. Some stuff here. I don't think we need yet. Oops. Things here are too sacred for you to even touch. I guess that's a diss. Gaia helmets, armor, silver rings. Ooh. Paladin stuff. So another case of words I didn't know when I was a kid when I was playing this and just, you know, reading everything. This word is paladin. Obviously now I know it's paladin, but at the time I did not. So I will struggle to say paladin. Like I will struggle to say chocobo. If I remember right, the prices at the inn are astronomical right now. Neither forgive nor forget the Baronian pillage and destruction. So people are scared of us. People are angry at us. Very angry. This guy gives us something to drink and we apparently drink it. Straight up poisoned us and just told us to our face that he did it. And I'm almost afraid of what the dancer's gonna do. I can't remember. Sleepy. Oh God. Cecil wakes up as a pig. And that lady just goes hopping off through the bushes and to who knows where. So Piggy is a status effect in this game, which is kind of hilarious. We've got pigs and frogs in this game. This is the Serpent Road leading to Baron. It is now sealed to prevent further Baronian raids. Makes sense. I mean, we obviously didn't come that way. We came by airship, but yeah, good call there. And apparently everyone still recognizes him, even though he is a pig currently. Just want to see if these guys in here recognize him as a Dark Knight still. Yep. I'm not scared of you, Dark Knight. I'm a pig, man. I've always been a pig. Always will be a pig. Oink oink. 200 gold per night. I hope that's not the price it'll always be. That is outrageously expensive, I think. Alright, you know what? Let's do the dancing thing again to cure our pig status, so we don't have to use another heal item. Heals are remedies in later games. Heals just heal all status effects. So the whole point of this is that Cecil, yeah, he feels bad about his actions, as we've seen him demonstrate throughout the game so far. But what's important here is that he will learn humility. And there's another one that goes hopping over here. What are you doing? Okay. Can't follow them, so okay. So yeah, they will tease him, they will make him suffer in small ways, like the bartender giving him poison, person turning him into a pig, another person turning him into a toad, and he will take it. Every single thing, he will take it because he knows that he did wrong, and he is accepting that. See, that's a good question. How do you have the nerve to come back here? And Cecil doesn't really have an answer. It's just poetic justice, perhaps, that he is washed ashore from a shipwreck all alone. His friends are gone, and he wound up in the place where he, did those atrocities at the beginning of the game. Our elder forgives everything you have done, but I cannot. This is the house of prayers. There's an interesting thing about video games from this time period in the United States. How can one become evil? I cannot say. Everyone is an innocent baby at the beginning. That's true. The first cure. The Encyclopedia of Black Magic. Fire, earth, water, and air. Elements of everything. Interesting stuff. Can't remember what I was about to say. What was I going to say here? Oh, yeah, the interesting thing about video games being taken from Japan and being localized for the United States, most of the time, these Japanese games have a lot of religious references in them. And I don't mean religious references for Buddhism and Shinto. I mean they have religious references to Christianity, which is really strange. Like, even after having lived there, it's still strange to me. There's a saying in Japan that you are, I'm going to mess this up, you are born Shinto, you marry Christian, and you die Buddhist. Because for them, it's not so much religion as we think of it, it's culture, which is really interesting. So in Japan, like, most people do not identify as Shinto or Buddhist. That's just the Japanese culture. So yeah, it's so different than here and how we perceive religion in the West. So a lot of Japanese games have a lot of Christian iconography in them, which is so, again, so bizarre to me. So you play old games like Dragon Warrior or Dragon Quest, or I think even the first Final Fantasy game, they have crosses, like actual like crosses on the buildings that are for healing. In Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link, all the gravestones are like crosses, and I think that's still in the American version as well. I can't remember. It's been a while since I played that one too. But even Link's shield has a cross on it. It's so strange. Anyway, so here you have this white mage, not white magic, this white mage, saying this is the house of prayers. I think throughout the rest of the game, you're going to see, instead of the word prayers, you're going to see the word wishes to kind of further, you know, I don't know, sanitize the religious references out of the games. What do you want from us this time? I am Cecil, the ex-captain of the Red Wings. I could not disobey the king. Apologies will not bring back our friends. Wait, apologies will not bring our friends back alive, but I can at least listen to your words. I'm fighting the one called Golbez, who is the mastermind of Baron. A girl was captured, so we were on our way to Baron for her rescue, but we were attacked by Leviathan or in this game instead of Leviathan is Leviathan or Leviathan. Lost your friends. It would be your trial, but as long as you depend upon the dark sword, you cannot defeat true evil. Moreover, you might be consumed with its evil at any time. If you wish to fight against evil with good, go to Mount Ordeals to the east of Messidia. But I must hurry. I do understand, but do not hurry. At first you must climb Mount Ordeals and renounce this evil sword, gain the Sword of Sacredness. So I guess here you are seeing them put the hammer down on what a Dark Knight is, and apparently Dark Knights do master some like evil technique, evil, style of combat, of martial prowess. It's not really mentioned until now, though, which is interesting. Again, I don't know if the developers were relying on dark as kind of this symbolic imagery of evil, or if they intended it to just be a thing that some people in the military of Baron are, and somehow they attain this rank, and it's called a Dark Knight, but it doesn't have anything to do with evil or evil intentions. As clearly we can see Cecil this entire time has had good intentions, but, he has his own limitations. The one who can accept the holy light is called a paladin. It is the sacred knight. Many went to Mount Ordeals to be a paladin, but none returned. Will you try? Yes. But it would be hard for you alone with your dark sword. Take wizards with you. Palom, Porum. You called for us? Where is Palom? Palom, come on. So you are that Baronian guy, aren't you? I'm gonna help you, so thank me. These two? Palom and Porum. They may be of help. Do not be deceived by their appearances. Be thankful that Messidian genius Palom will accompany you. Palom, it's for your own good. Well, how do you do, sir? Yoroshiku onegaishimasu. Palom, you must greet him. Hi, man. There you go. So Cecil, I guess he wasn't alone very long, was he? He's got two new friends. Um, one of them a very diligent wizard, the girl, and one just enormous brat in Palm. Now to mount ordeals. Palm and Borum, do everything in your power to help Cecil. I will trust you if you become a paladin. Try. Go and see if you can accept the light. Paladins are the sacred knights of light, just the opposite of dark knights. Oh, so now you kind of see the duality at play here. Okay, so where I've been trying to posit the theory here, the hypothesis, that dark knights are not evil. Here, they are really laying down, get rid of the vagueness, get rid of the wishy-washiness. Dark knights are evil. Paladins are the knights of light. Here, King Arthur and the Knights of Justice. Get moving, man. All right. I'm just taking a look around. I can't. All right. So I think we're ready to head out here. First thing we want to do, obviously, they're in the back row, which is good. And I love these character portraits. Like, look at the difference between them. Porum, nice little girl. Palom, he's totally a brat. He's a Dennis the Menace. So he does black magic. I can see he's got a rod, some leather stuff, and an iron ring. We can improve upon that before we go. She's got the same stuff, but she has a staff because she is a white wizard. Checking their magic, she's got the basic stuff, which is nice. That'll keep us alive. And he has the basic utilitarian black magic spells. So that's fine. They also have a special ability. I don't know if you can check it out in here like you can in later games. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. They have twin magic. And twin magic allows them to do, I think it's randomly, one of two spells. Comet, I think, and the other one is it Flare or something? I can't remember. We'll figure it out. We'll get there. We're going to use it a lot. So, hi, Palom and Porum. Mount Ordeals is east. Yeah, will I get a better reception if I walk around as these two? Many tried to overcome Mount Ordeals, but no one ever came back. So apparently this Mount Ordeals, it seems like kind of a legend. People are talking about it. Not hopping away anymore. They're just like, yeah, right, man. So these people they seem, is incredulous the right word? They just seem like, no, there's no way you're going to do this. You're clearly an evil jerk. Just endure the time of trial and get away from your mind of darkness. But see, they're also kind of supportive too at this point. They're like, oh, somehow they heard about this, that Cecil, the guy who came into town, either killed or at least took people captive and stole their water crystal. As soon as he says, okay, I will go try and climb Mount Ordeals, I will go try and change myself and prove that I can be a Knight of Light, I can be a Paladin. Now these people suddenly, like, they must know the legend, they must know, their culture must be steeped in it here, because they're like, oh, you're going to try this. That says something about you already. And what if you succeed? We're not going to talk to the guy again who turns us into a frog. I think he still does it regardless of whether or not you're going to try and become a paladin. Ooh, okay, so ice rods for sale, right? What that reminds me is that we should have de-equipped Edward, Rydia, and Yang before we got on the boat, but I completely forgot. Oh well. So there's some interesting stuff here. I'm going to pass on the ice rod, and I'm going to grab the flame rod instead. One, it costs more, so it's probably more powerful. But two, the enemies that we're going to encounter on Mount Ordeals are weak to two things. They're weak to fire, and they're weak to healing magic. And the reason for that is that they are mostly undead. Zombies and stuff. So I'm going to get a flame rod for this dude. And I'm going to get the cure rod for Porum. Because when she hits someone with it, it heals them. So first of all, that's great for us because she can smack us with it and we'll get healed. But it's also good because I can have her take a turn to smack an enemy and it'll do actual damage. If you can come back, you will be able to use these, but that's impossible. So here's the thing. Take a look at this. We've got 13,450 gold, right? Right. I want 2 of these, 2 of these, and 2 of these. I also want 1, 1, 1, 1. That's a lot. Excuse me. That's a lot of money. In fact, I'm going to find out how much money that actually is because it's going to be kind of important. Usually when I play this game, at least in the past, I was woefully unprepared upon coming down from Mount Ordeals. And that is because, well, if you haven't already figured it out, spoiler alert, Cecil's going to become a paladin. And the thing is, like, I'd go up there, I'd become a paladin, and when he does that, he can't wear his dark armor anymore. So then it would be kind of a harrowing trip back down the mountain, and then I'd come back to the town here, and I would buy the paladin armor, and we'd be fine, we'd be great. I don't want to do that this time. Like, why wait if we don't have to? Why trap ourselves at the top of the mountain in no armor when we could buy it here ahead of time? So I'm just adding up everything I want here. Let's see, plus 650 times 2 is 1,300. Plus, oops. $700 plus 4,000 plus 8,000 plus 3,000. So the total is 19,400 for all of this armor that I want to get. And we've got 13,400, so that's a lot. All right, let's do this the smart way. So we're going to start off with armor for the twins. 1, 2. Well, the other cool thing you can do is, which button is it? I thought there was a way to, is that it just in later games that you can adjust? Like in this one you can only buy 1 or 10, but in later games you can like move those numbers around. Anyway, so after the armor we got for them, we're down to 9,750. And we need 15,700. So we're about 6,000 short. So let's equip them and then see where we're at. Porum, again, White Wizard. She's got a staff right now. She has the ability to use a short bow and arrows, which is also fine, but I think she's got lousy aim. So we're going to equip her with the Cure Staff. And you can see her attack power jump right there. She can't hold anything in the left hand. We can improve her armor from leather hat or helmet to a Gaia helmet. And watch her defense and magic, currently 9 and 6. Now 10 and 8. So that's pretty good. Same thing with the body, 10 and 8 up to 11 and 10. And the arms from the iron ring to the silver ring. 11, 10 to 13, 12. That's much better. That's pretty solid. We're going to do the same thing with Porum. He's left-handed, which I always found kind of funny as well. Since left hand, in our popular culture, like usually indicates mischievousness and things like that. So we give him the flame rod, 686 to 1086. So he started off at 686 for his stats here. And now he's at 10, 12, 12. I'd say that's a pretty good improvement. Alright, so obviously I said Cecil will lose the ability to use his dark sword and armor once we hit the top of the mountain. And I'd really like to bring enough stuff along where he can immediately equip his new paladin armor that we're going to be getting for him. And to do that, I think we're going to sell... You know, in every game I play, and I do this with pretty much every game, not just Final Fantasy, but every game, I tend to store items that are important in the game, for lack of a better word. So like usually when I play Final Fantasy 2, I store forever. I never use them again, but I store all of his shadow and darkness and black armor because it's unique in the game. I just store it. I never do anything with it. It just sits in the stomach of the big Chocobo, and that's the end of it. So I wonder if I sold all that stuff now, at least like the stuff that he's not wearing. If I still probably wouldn't have enough money. Like the iron rings are occasionally useful. I don't know. Doesn't matter. We're just gonna move on. So what I'm gonna do is I am going to go get some levels. Levels and money. Let's see. Let's check the item store real quick. Did we go in here? I can't remember. I don't think we were in here. Did I forget this one? Okay, there's nothing in the pots. Hello. This guy's selling some items. I don't think we really need anything. Alright, so let's get out of here and do some leveling. So unfortunately, like, this isn't going to be a very exciting part. There's no story to do here, but I mean, levels, I think, as I've shown in previous episodes, like, getting the levels, getting the right equipment really does make all the difference. And it's not just this game, obviously, but in every game that you play. So all that means is that we can mess around here, get some money, see how much money, really, everything gives us and how fast we can get some levels. But I also want to see what these two can do. And they're starting off pretty weak here. So I think they have the potential to gain some levels as well, which would be good because, again, we want them as strong as possible when we start climbing that mountain because it is just the three of us. Or is it? Alright, so we got about 300 gold. Where's that experience? I missed it. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I got 300 something. If it was gold, like, that's pretty good. All the way out over here. Try and find... Ooh, that looks like a big one. Let's have these two test out their twin magic. So yeah, look, they... Oh, it hits everything. Yikes. Yeah, they better gain some levels. Their HP is atrociously low. Flare. Nice. Oh, that giant thing is still alive. That's no good. Die. Swoon. Oh, that's right. I think the black sword has a chance to instantly kill an enemy. So that 1,000 gold right there. Like, we should be able to afford that stuff. Ooh, that I want in no time. So Palom learned Ice 2. Porum learned Life 1. Like, okay, we've got some room for growth here. And we're going to have her heal the both of them so that they don't die. That would be bad. You can't gain levels when you're dead. So yeah, we shouldn't need much here. Oh. Hello, Sean Cass. No, not my first time playing FF2/4, but definitely my first time in a long time. So it's pretty exciting for me. Again, like, it's been... You know, I played this a few years ago, I think, but it's been a while, man, and I hadn't played it before that for... I couldn't even tell you, like a decade or more. So yeah, it's kind of an adventure that I'm on here. And while I can talk a lot about the story and the items and the events and the characters that I remember from the game, it's also new to me as well. So yeah, thanks for popping by. So right now, sorry, I just looked over at the chat, which is why I saw you there. I'm just trying to get in here and get some coin so that we can make sure that Cecil has all of his equipment after we get to the top of Mount Ordeals, because usually when I would play this when I was a kid especially, I didn't think that far ahead, and so I would then, you know, get to the top, the thing would happen that we're going to see probably next time I play this, and then I'd be stuck with a Cecil who couldn't do anything. Like, he could fight, but that's it, because he's got no armor. No one wants to see a naked Cecil, except maybe Rosa. So we're out here in the forest, just getting some gold. And we had one really good fight a few minutes ago, where we got 1,000 gold right off the bat, and I was like, oh, this won't take long at all. But now we're back to getting like 260 a battle. How much have we got now? 11,480. I think we needed like 15,000, or was that after? Hang on. 8, 11. Yeah, we need like 16,000 gold. And something tells me. I don't know. I think that's on you. I'm not gonna judge. Personally, I would like to see Cecil in his full armor so that he can yeah, oh, he is full of pain. And you know, he really has every right to be. I mean, we saw at the beginning of the game him do something awful. He's done a few other bad things since then, although they've been unintentional, like killing Rydia's mom and burning down Rydia's village. Again, not things that he meant to do, but still things that he did. And what's really interesting about this part of the game is that now is his chance to have a redemption arc. And he goes through this whole trial here and really learns humility, one of the knightly virtues, from his experience here. Huh. Yeah, so Cecil on his redemption arc, I was just really surprised that it happens this early in the game. Like, this is 4 or 5 hours in, and when I was playing this as a kid, it always seemed like it was halfway through the game that this happened. Look at the two little wizards actually taking somebody down and being useful. 90,000 HP. Oh my god. Yeah, that sounds like a bad time. Doing okay here. Yeah, I've seen, I think, the randomizer a couple of times. Like, I stumbled across a while ago. It was what, Free Enterprise or something. I saw people like doing races and things, which I thought was kind of cool. But I don't really have any experience with that kind of stuff. I'm very much a you know, by the story kind of guy, but I've seen some of the races and they seem kind of cool. Anytime you can randomize a game like that, surprises just come out of the woodwork. It's like, you know, it probably dates back to like the Legend of Zelda second quest. You know, you beat the game and then all of a sudden everything switches around. It's not random, but it is. If you're used to playing the base game and you know where everything is, all of a sudden you have no idea where anything is. Alright, cool. Yeah, I might check it out. I like those tiny mages. I wonder if they're actually tiny or if they're people who have been like shrunk by the tiny spell in this game. 13,000, getting closer. think I'm going to start heading back to town and seeing just how much stuff we can buy. That's right. You gotta wonder, like, half the thing that interests me about games like this and RPGs is just the lore around them. And, you know, at the time, the people, the developers at Square, you know, they probably weren't thinking of any of this stuff. Like, oh, the tiny mage, you know, what's his backstory? Like, no one cares. But, you know, you get to a point where you're like, you know what, playing this game, I wonder what's going on with this guy. What happened in his life that someone shrunk him? Like, did he rob a town of its crystal too, and that's the punishment that he got? Who knows? No, you can give me hints and tips, that's fine. Like, especially if you know a good way to gain gold right now. Because again, like, while Rosa might be interested in a naked Cecil, that is not something that I've signed up for. One of the things about this game is that I don't know a lot of the mechanics in it. I know the story really well, I know the characters really well, but the mechanics of the gameplay are not something I understand a lot. Like, you know, most of the status effects in this game, your mages can learn them, but I've never seen any real use in them. I'm much more a, you know, hit it until it falls down kind of person. Which is why in like little fights like this, I pretty much just hold down the A button and just let them kill these guys until they're dead. Not bother wasting the magic. Not that I have much MP left. Well, that's interesting. What is boss bit? Interesting. So some bosses or some enemies have something switched on for them that allows status effects to hit them. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, I never knew that. So there's probably some kind of guide or list online of, oh, they're out of MP, that's why they can't cast anything. There's probably some guide or something that tells you, like, who has, you know, who you're able to cast status effects on. But that's interesting. Like, if you could, you know, hit someone with hold or something, that could really make your day. That's true. Like, we started off a few minutes ago with these two, and they just had the basic stuff. And now they're already learning the level 2 spells, which is pretty cool. Yep, there you go. He just learned Lightning 2. And she just learned Cure 2. So again, like, it's the benefit of leveling now, whereas when I was a kid playing this, you know, I would just follow the story and go right up to Mount Ordeals. Like, that's bad stuff up there if you are not prepared for it. Yeah, Virus is one that's unique to this game, I think. So, when I was a kid reading Nintendo Power, they mentioned that Virus is like this really powerful spell, and you can use it against that demon wall thing in that cave. But, oh, that's right, Cecil is going to lose his levels. I forgot about that. But yeah, Virus, it's not just poison, is it? Like, it does actual damage as well. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I always wondered, like, what goes into determining how fast spells are cast. Because, you know, like Rydia doing her summon thing, like the summons can sometimes at least feel like they take forever. Alright, 14,000. We can get a couple things here. Let's get the big stuff out of the way. Armor and the helmet. So we need we'll get the shield too, and then we'll just know that we need the gauntlets, which we only need 1,500 more for. That's not terrible. Rest up, and then once they've got their magic back, these fights should go faster, and then we'll be able to finish up our purchases here in town. Oop, wrong way. Oh yeah, absolutely. Wait. Alright, you're gonna have to explain that one, because, I mean, really? So wait, if I equip, like, Edge, right, with Boomerang or something, and I put him in the back row, like, obviously he can do damage from the back row, and that's fine. But are you saying that once he's equipped with that, like if I equip him with a sword or something, that I can keep him in the back row and still get that, the regular damage? Because that'd be pretty sweet, and something I've never noticed before. Oh my god. Alright, I'll remember that once he gets in the party. Actually, probably do that with any of the bows and arrows. Nice. Yeah, it's interesting, right? Like, this is 1991, and like the game looks so complete and polished on the outside. But when you say these things about, oh man, this will do this and this will do that, and you can break this in this way, it's like, oh man, like there's so much going on underneath the hood that they just missed. Bugs, you know? I know FF6 has a bunch as well. Dwarf axe will work for Kane. Sid can use bows. Nice. Yeah, I had no idea about that. So yeah, once Cecil turns into a paladin, we can equip him with a bow, and then put him in whatever row we want to. So, once we get Edge, we've got 5 people in our party at the end of the game at least. Do you have it where you have 3 people in front? I guess if you've got all this back row damage stuff, I mean, I guess you'd probably just do the formation with 2 guys in front and 3 in back. What is unique about the center spot? Really? Oh man. Yeah, this is all stuff I never knew before. That's awesome. So yeah, none of that is in the material, like the official material. That's amazing. No instruction book has it. It's all people just pulling the game apart and figuring it out, I guess. That's cool. It's like, yeah, in FF6, you know, I always equipped, what was it, the Hyper Wrist on my guys? Because it said it increased vigor by like 50 points, I think, or something like that. And it turned out that vigor did absolutely nothing in the game. It's like, what a disappointment. Nice. Yeah, that randomizer thing sounds pretty cool. I may have to check that out at some point. After I've beaten this. So here's something else, like, for example, that I never knew. Apparently the black sword has a random chance, or at least it seems to affect it every single time. It kills that giant bird in one hit. It has like the instant death status on it. Here he is again. Let's do it again. Nope, didn't happen. Oh, yes, it did happen. Every time, instant death. That's cool. Like, it makes you want to keep that around now for the rest of the game. I remember there being like some giants or something in Edge's, what is it, Eblon Castle, that I'd really like to use that on. I remember one fight, I think it's some giants or something pop out of a treasure chest, and it's a really ugly fight. Trying to get back to town, man. Come on. Yes, yes. That's exactly it. Mad ogres. Like, those guys are no good. No good at all. Like, again, it's been years since I've played this, and I still remember those just awful fights that show up in this game sometime. Alright, you're going to have to explain that one to me, because, again, Berserk is one that I don't get, because when an enemy hits me with it, or I hit me with it, you know, I lose my ability to choose any inputs, and my dude just keeps attacking. Does it speed them up or something, or what is the benefit of it? Ah, okay. So it completely eliminates the need for the player to do any input. So if your guy is just going to be attacking the entire time anyway, why not just use Berserk on him to make him do it? Oh, okay. That's the reason. So not only does it speed up the input, but it also does 1.5 times damage. Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, that's something we can work with. Man, I'm gonna tear through some guys in this game. Like, I had no idea that all these mechanics existed. This is really cool. That's also good. Oh, man. That is big brain. That's just brilliant right there. And here I am, right? Just chopping away at some imps and tiny mages. I can't remember, but there might be a Chocabo forest right outside Mount Ordeals. If there is, we can just recover our magic there, but I really can't remember if there is one or if it's just my imagination. Yeah, well, I'm going to use that. We're not going to call it cheese for me because I'm brand new to that. Okay, that's interesting, because I know, like, obviously the utility of wall in this game is that you can bounce your spells back at the enemy, or the enemy's spells will just bounce off you. Really? Does it increase the damage? Huh. Yeah, I don't know what it is with this black sword. Like, we know that it has a chance to do instant death, but it does it 100% of the time, it seems, on those giant birds. Oh, interesting. Okay. So there are some enemies that use, that have a counterattack if they get hit by spells or by physical attacks, and if you bounce your spell off, it won't do anything. That's interesting. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, see, now it makes me wonder, like, all those status effect spells that I was talking about before, and I know that there's a bunch in Final Fantasy 3 as well, or 6 as well. It's like, all of a sudden, it's like, oh my goodness, we have a utility for all of these things that I didn't know before. Are you... you gotta be kidding me. I didn't know that. Zeromus refills his HP if you deal direct damage to him. Huh. To get around the HP cap. So that's what I want to do tonight. Like, I want to go and I just want to read up all these mechanic things of people who've just broken this game. That's amazing. So if Zeromus can't refill his HP, and you're just bouncing spells off yourself, how many hits does it take to kill him? So once you do like 30,000 damage or so, he'll trigger refill. Ah, interesting, okay. But if you bounce all spells, you only gotta get through 40,000 HP or so. That's awesome. I'm gonna try not to do that in this game. I'm gonna try to be fair with this playthrough, more or less. Unless I get into a really hard spot. Like I know, like I remember the CPU in the Giant of Babel being really tough when I played this the first couple of times. If I could mess with those things, like that would be awesome. Right, true. But there's things like the Berserk thing that you told me about that, yeah, I want in my back pocket in case I need them. Or just want to use them and, you know, mess with the bad guys. Who doesn't want to do that? I'll tell you, the other boss that I had a really hard time with as a kid because I was so underleveled was the Calbrena in when you go to the underground for the first time. You fight these Calbrena things, and I didn't know that Cecil had to live because Golbez shows up right after and he zaps your party, and if Cecil's not alive, it's game over. It sucked. And so I always remember I only had like 1,050 HP or something, or maybe less even, maybe under 1,000. And it was just the worst fight, and it took me so long to get through it and finally beat it. Like, I never want to be in that situation again. Oops, that is not the menu I wanted to go to. There we go. Okay. Come, get over here. There we go. Get your carrots, and I am actually gonna have that big Chicabo show up because I need to store some stuff. I said earlier how I always store all of the important items in games just for no reason whatsoever, and this game is no different. I will never after this need to use the shadow, darkness, or black equipment, but I still keep it, and I don't know why. It's for like sentimental value. and I'm playing Witcher 3 again right now. Just finished the game actually, and now I'm on to the DLC, and I still do the same thing. Every unique sword in the game, I keep. And I don't know why I do that. Probably got some kind of hoarding problem or something, but there it is. Yeah, I took this out and I didn't want to because Yang will come back at some point in the not too distant future. Maybe. Spoilers. See, yeah, I could sell it. I could, but I don't. I don't know why. Again, it's like this weird nostalgia attachment to fictional items in a video game. I don't know what it is. All right. Is this one of those forests with the secret passages in them? I know that there's one or two that you can walk through here and there's treasure. I don't think this is one. I mean, heck, I think of it this way, like, worst case scenario, Edge can always throw it at somebody. I mean, there's nothing like chucking the Excalibur at Zeromus at the end of the game. That's fun. The claws are actually very good for Edge too, especially the Thunder Claw. Okay, why is that? What is unique about the Thunder Claw? Because unfortunately, the Thunder Claw is currently equipped on Yang, who jumped off the boat because I completely forgot that I was supposed to de-equip him and Rydia and Edward. Oops. Oh, okay, so I know that those guys are weak to lightning, but I didn't think the Thunderclaw... Oh, wait, no, he's with you. Right, Yang is with you when you do that fight, because then he sacrifices himself and gets blown up by the cannon. That's right. Alright, I am going to do some research tonight, because this sounds like a lot of fun. Unfortunately, my time is up, and I have to get going and go do some other things. But thank you for hanging out. Thank you for all the information about this game. Like, again, I always think of this as like, you know, the basic SNES RPG, and to hear that there's so many things about the mechanics that I had no idea about, that's really cool. So thank you very much. Thank you for hanging out. And I hope to see you again. I'm going to be doing this every Friday and Sunday, 8:30 to 9:30. So I hope I catch you then.